Welcome back to Let's Write with a Plan, the series in which we write with a plan. This is our plan. We've got an A section, B section, C section, B section, and an A section again with these dynamics. And we're currently working on the B section. So here's the end of the A section right here. And the B section begins in this kind of spooky world. And there's all these different swirling, pointillistic kind of dark things happening. And now we've resolved into this groove thing. So I like the way it ends up in the groove thingy, but I just think it all happens a little too fast. There's not enough space between the end of the A section and that groove. It feels sort of like there's more potential to be to find in just this little bit right here. So here's what I was thinking. It'd be interesting if the strings actually fade out to nothing here. Fade out about here. Then we're just left with this bell. And then every now and then we put the B section melody in here in some sort of dissonant kind of 12-tone way, meaning that we do it very chromatically and don't worry too much about what key we're in. And I mean, there's 12-tone is a bit more of a specific thing than that, but that's what I'm talking about here, is making this chromatic and dissonant and having the strings kind of fade in every now and then. So I'm going to give myself some more space here so I can try this idea out. So I'm going to give myself 24 measures, which is a lot. It's more than I expect to need. But what I'm thinking here is, all right, we're going to fade this out so it gets to be about a complete measure rest there. So we're going to get a decrescendo starting at the beginning of this measure for both of the strings that are happening right now. And I'm going to have these guys be totally out by the time they reach that measure. So it's going to be, I'll just make these blank measures and see how that sounds. Yeah, so I really want to hear that fade in the software, so I'm just going to write in a dynamic of PPP, super pianissimo, just pianissimo as can be, so that you hear that fade out and don't just have to imagine it. So let's see. Cool. And so having it completely cut out on the bar is kind of weird. Let's see. Interesting. All right, so we are left with this theme in the crotales. It's pretty dissonant against what's going on here in the strings, so I want to play into that dissonance more. So I'm going to add another measure here. About 2 measures there. I'm going to bring the strings back in. So I'm going to have this dissonance happening like this. Have the C happen like as it's been happening at pianissimo, or at piano I mean. And then I'm going to have these strings, they're totally gone here, they come back in on beat 3 of this measure. Let's see. Have it come back in like this. Do. Alright. Now I just gotta get my dynamics right. So it's gonna start the fade in at pianissimo, or super pianissimo, with PPP. I don't know exactly what that's called, but I'm sure someone does. And I'm sure Google does. But we got the triple P. delicious. And we're going to put this here, and then it'll finally reach pianissimo, which is when you have the two P's here. Actually, I'm going to keep this going for an extra beat. Alright, that here. Where are my lines? So we'll get the swell happening for the entire two measures. And then same here for the viola. Cool. Let's see. Oh yes, it needs to start here actually. Give it a listen. Okay. Interesting. All right, so having it totally disappear here is kind of weird. So what I think I'm going to do is have the line continue but when I work with the strings, I'll make sure that they're practically silent here. So it's going to be scratch, basically just kind of rubbing the strings, scratching them. So I'm going to change the notation style to just rhythmic notation so I remember what to tell them here. And cool. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, this crotale pattern could be more interesting, but I still want to think about the strings a little bit more. I feel like right here, it's kind of weak. We got the I think just having the F's be together doesn't sound great. Let's see. Too consonant. It just needs to be the same thing over and over again. So, okay, I'm gonna have to redo the dynamics. Okay. That's cool. Alright. Let's see how that works as a transitioning out, because I want to do something with the crotale's rhythm, but I'm not sure. I have to respond to the sound a bit more. this. Dun, dun. Cool. Now, when I get here, I want to change things up a bit. So, let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Too abrupt. All right. I'm trying to kind of create. The image I'm getting is sort of a big dark bathtub in space in which these elements kind of swirl around and mix together and fuse into new particles that become like a new form of matter that kind of congeals together here. If you don't think about music in like those kinds of like image terms, or if those images don't make sense, another way of putting it is just I want to create ambiguity, and I want the ambiguity to become less and less ambiguous, and then from the clarity that you find on the other end of that ambiguity, make a clear, nice new direction for our B section that feels like it really flowed out of like the ethers of our A section. Cool. It's getting there. I'm liking this. This helps. Yeah, I think this is going to be possible to do. Yeah, I'm gonna have the open D in the G in the violin, open D string, and then this seventh C sharp to C. Very dissonant there for a sec, very crunchy. And then we got the I think this is all possible. Yeah. This might require like some weird timing with the violin. It might have to be timed a little differently because what we have here is the open D string, then the open A string, and then a really high C. So like the shape of the violin's bridge is sort of an arc. So you have strings on one side of the arc and strings on the other side of the arc. So the player might not be able to play this open string, which is on one side of the arc, at the same time as that note. But I actually think they might be able to. But either way, I'll be happy with the results, if even if it's a little bit of a flammy thing. Okay, and this swell is just dying for a little bit more violin 1. We get like E, E, E. It should be good. Put in a little swell. Da 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 da. From piano to fortissimo. Alright. Cool. Alright, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. We got to do a little call and response here. And then here we'll do the we'll get some nasty stuff going on in our crotales now. It's getting gross. I like it. It's cool. Yeah, and we can just stick the melody in there for the B section. This is cool. Good. Alright, now let's go fetch that double speed melody. I know we did the half speed melody before, but I want to hear regular old fast melody right here after all this madness as a point of resolution for the... What if everyone plays it? Let's find out what that's like. See, ultimate chaos, not really ultimate, but very chaotic, very dissonant, resolving into the most orderly thing imaginable, which is just everyone playing the same thing. Let's find out what that's like. Alright. Let's see. Interesting. Alright, it's not what I'm going to do, but I might do it later. Let's keep that in my head as a possibility. But I do like the melody happening somewhere. So we got... just put it in the old viola. Heck, it's in cello and the viola. What if they double each other? That'll be tense. That's a hard cello part, though. I know a guy who can do it, but I don't know enough guys and girls who can do that to do it comfortably. Just who knows who's going to be available to record this. So let's see. Okay, where does that one go? Oh yeah, I have an idea. This is kind of neat. Okay, so I'm going to grab those chords for this section. There's first measures chord. I know we went through a lot of trouble to make everything twice as slow last time, but now I have a new idea. You got to see where it goes. So we'll turn this, put this right here actually, as a reference. These top two lines are just for, like, they're like a notepad for me. That's why you never hear them. Okay, so I'm gonna see what happens if I go da-ding, 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 da-ding. Cool, that's neat. What's the next chord? What's this? Okay. So I'm arranging this chord into this cool rhythmic counterpoint. So now we have an F on the bottom. So I'm going to go F, C, F. Use this rhythm here. Start on F, F, C, F. And we need a B, a C, and an F sharp. A B, just a B and a C to finish this off. So I'm going to actually make this a B, and then we need our C, and then we need another F sharp, and then A good, B. B's good. We gotta keep it. Alright, so I just erased that thing I just did because it was too much. I was introducing too much information too soon. I want people to hear the melody and experience it. This is their first time hearing the melody of the B section. So I have it on the lower violas so I can take advantage of the high range of these bell sounds. But I don't want to like create so much a focus on the bell sounds that you ignore the melody or you don't consider them the melody. So I want to keep this really simple. So the note choice becomes real important here. I want them to be from the chord. I want it to be interesting too. So it should contrast what came before it a little bit, but not too much. Yeah, C sharp, get the F sharp. Alright, let's see how that sounds. Cool. Okay. Alright, and that's now coming out of this chaos. Cool. Alright. I'm going to stop there. I haven't forgotten about this cool thing. But now I'm hearing it again. It's not that cool. We'll see where this goes. More B section next time. Have a great week.